With people of limited ability, modesty is merely honesty. But with those who possess great talent, it is hypocrisy. Money is human happiness in the abstract, and so the man who is no longer capable of enjoying such happiness in the concrete sets his whole heart on money. In action, a great heart is the chief qualification. In work, a great head. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. The difficulty is to try and teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. Without women our lives would be, in the beginning, defenseless, in the middle without pleasure, in the end without consolation. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. A man shows his character just in the way in which he deals with trifles, for then he is off his guard. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. There is no doubt that life is given us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. In early youth, as we contemplate our coming life, we are like children in a theater before the curtain is raised, sitting there in high spirits and eagerly waiting for the play to begin. Because people have no thoughts to deal with, they deal cards and try to win one another's money. Idiots. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. The intellectual attainments of a man who thinks for himself resemble a fine painting, where the light and shade are correct, the tone sustained. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. Life is a constant process of dying. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. Treat a work of art like a prince, let it speak to you first. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. So the problem is not so much to see what nobody has yet seen, as to think what nobody has yet thought concerning that which everybody sees. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Journalists are like dogs, whenever anything moves they begin to bark. This our world, which is so real, with all its suns and Milky Ways is nothing. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. Wealth is like seawater, the more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. To free a person from error is to give, and not to take away. The business of the novelist is not to relate great events, but to make small ones interesting. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Great minds are related to the brief span of time during which they live as great buildings are to a little square in which they stand. You cannot see them in all their magnitude because you are standing too close to them. Reading is merely a surrogate for thinking for yourself. It means letting someone else direct your thoughts. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. One should use common words to say uncommon things. The greatest achievements of the human mind are generally received with distrust. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. A pessimist is an optimist in full possession of the facts. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. If I maintain my silence about my secret, it is my prisoner. If I let it slip from my tongue, I am its prisoner. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. Pride is the direct appreciation of oneself. That I could clamber to the frozen moon and draw the ladder after me. Time is that in which all things pass away. Each day is a little life. To feel envy is human, to savor schadenfreude is devilish. If you want to know your true opinion of someone, watch the effect produced in you by the first sight of a letter from him.